yeah, there's always a story.
Yeah. That's Vegas.
We're rolling, right?
Yeah.
All right.
No, that's fine. So this is cool because you're the first client to be on the podcast. Otherwise, it's been tattooers and mostly just tattooers or the two of us. So it's kind of cool to get a client's perspective, I think, finally, and especially one that I've personally been tattooing for a super long time. But do you know when was the first time that you found my work or me at Beloved?
So I was just like, man, I really want a tattoo, and I just couldn't think of what I wanted. And then one day I was like, I kind of want to get a koi fish in memory of my grandfather. I was like, that'd be sweet. And then so I just started like searching different concepts and designs, and finally I was like, all right, I'm ready to pull the trigger. I didn't know there was something called custom tattooing. Because the tattoo shops that I grew up with, you just go in, there's like a sticker on the wall.
Take
you go
that koi fish.
Yeah. Problem is, every place I went, I was like, I don't like any of those designs. Like, this is gonna be on your body for a long time. So I was like, all right, that's not gonna do it. And then I just started like Googling different like tattoo shops around. Yeah. And I came across the custom tattoo concept, and I was like, oh, someone draws the tattoo for me?
Interesting.
That's sick. That means that no one else has this type of tattoo.
That's true.
And so, I don't know, I called a bunch of places, and Beloved just stood out to me. And I went there and I like looked at the shop, looked at the work, and I was like, man, I like this. I like what people do here. And then I asked like one of the tattoo artists there, I was like, who do you think your best like koi fish design artist is? And they referred me to you.
Interesting.
And so I think I sent you an email.
Okay.
For like a consultation.
Yeah.
Yeah. When that was like 2011, maybe.
Yeah, that's probably pretty right. Yeah, maybe 12, but
maybe it could be.
So okay, so it's been a minute. Damn, dude, that's like 13, 14
years
dude.
ago. Yeah, it's crazy.
Gosh, that is wild. So then, how many tattoos did you have at that point?
I had one.
You only had one?
I got a tattoo when I was 18 years old. I was in Southern California in the desert working as an electrician, bored out of my mind. And I was like, man,
I got money.
Well, I was just starting to get into modeling too. So I was like, ooh, it'd be cool to have like a little bit of edge. And then so I was like kind of Googling too, because the modeling agency that I was working with at that time was like, yeah, you can get a tattoo, but it can't be like bizarre. It can only be, simple. Like outline. And I was like, I love stars. And actually what inspired me was Good Charlotte.
Sure.
He had the two stars on his chest, and I was like, ooh, I like that. And so I went to a tattoo shop, and I was like, can I get a star tattoo? I was 18.
How do I do this?
And they're like,
pick one off the wall.
Pretty much. He's like, well, you just want a star? And he was really grungy, like I don't know. At that point in time, I was like, this is probably not a great idea. The tattoo shop that I chose was really sketchy to begin with.
Okay.
And so he's like, yeah, all right, I'll give you a tattoo. Just outline? I was like, yeah, that's all I'm looking for. And so takes like 4 seconds, gets a stencil. Doesn't care about placement, which you had fixed it later on, so the placement was pretty rough. It was a little cockeyed.
Just kind of slapped it on there.
Yeah. And I was like, now I got a tattoo.
Yeah.
This is pretty badass. And I hated it ever since.
Really?
I was like, man, that was such a dumb idea.
So that you were 18.
Yeah.
And then how long? Okay. And so when was that? And so how long until
18 was 2001.
Oh, wow. So you waited like 10, 11 years.
11 years.
Dang.
Yeah. But I always thought like, man, I want another tattoo. Like, it's like the old adage, once you get one, you just can't stop getting them.
Right.
And I never really thought that was going to be true for me.
Yeah.
So I was like, one tattoo. Cool. Good enough. Maybe I'll get one more. Wasn't quite expecting the,
I was gonna
quantity.
Say, because you've gone freaking off the wall with it, which is cool. I mean, I'm grateful for that. So then, I was sharing the story before we started, but I remember when I drew up your koi fish and you came in for the appointment, you're like, yeah, man, I don't know. I'm not really having it. Do you remember much of that?
Oh, yeah.
Because I remember like, fuck this guy.
Yeah. No, that's fair. And I get that a lot. My wife says,
I mean, I think we could say that now.
Yeah.
So long.
No, that always reminds me of I always tell people I'm not for everyone. My wife's always like, you are correct. Yeah, no, I can remember.
Yeah.
So, because in my head, I had like this like idea of what I was looking for, and I wanted it to be kind of like badass. I wanted it to be manly.
Sure.
And I wasn't used to custom tattoos.
Right.
So I only saw like the outline work.
It was just a line drawing. Yeah.
I didn't see any of the shading. I didn't see any of the texture. Nothing to kind of make it, come to life, basically. So I looked at it and I was like, damn, that looks really girly. It looked really girly. And I was like, and I have roses now, like whatever.
Sure.
But when I saw that one, I was like, I don't want to be an asshole, but this is like going to be on my skin for life.
Yeah.
Although, they did have tattoo removal at that shop too.
Yes.
So.
They did.
Can you imagine being like, hey, by the way.
Yeah. All right. Made another appointment. Not with you.
Beloved's still going to get paid though. So.
Right. Exactly.
No. So I remember I was just like, can you make it a little more masculine or something like that?
Yeah. Get biceps or something.
Yeah. Well, if you remember, I didn't have any biceps then.
I don't remember.
Oh, yeah. My arms were like straight across then.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't have any biceps. So that was the first impressions were, man, that's kind of girly.
Yeah.
But you fixed it.
Yeah.
You probably did nothing. You probably just went back and was like, here's a.
I don't know
better now.
I don't know that I changed anything. Yeah, I think it just all came in. Maybe I put a scowl on it or something.
I think it was the face, and I think it was, like I didn't notice. I didn't know any of this was coming in, so I just saw like a flat part and those eyes. I was kind of like, man, that looks girly.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what I always tell people too. Is like, I know the line drawing. I'm like, line drawings are boring for the most part, unless you're somebody else who does really cool line drawings. But, yeah. So, but I remember, I'm like, God, that was like our first interaction, and then now like however many years later, it's just like, yeah, dude, whatever.
Yeah,
do whatever you want.
I know, and that's like the trust piece of it now.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is, so you told me a long time ago, you said, I want to give you tattoos that when you walk down the street, even if your friends have tattoos, everyone is looking at your tattoos and saying, where did you get those tattoos?
I still tell people that.
It happens every other day, I would say.
That's
I just
cool.
got back from Vegas. I gave your number to probably about 15 people. Kid you not.
That's a lot.
They live in Vegas, they live other places.
Right.
You're probably never going to hear from them. But I did. I was like,
yeah.
Oh, dude, this dude does amazing work. And like I've told you before, my wife, she was very anti-tattoo for a long time, right?
Yeah.
She will tell people, that's CM. That's CM. His work is, you could see how good of an artist he is.
That's
like
cool.
She will promote your work now. So
that means probably sometimes even more. It's like, well, what does the spouse think of the work? Because they're the ones who really have to look at it all the time. Basically.
Well, I scared the shit out of her because one day I came home with one tattoo.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, so I got the one. She wasn't so mad. Okay.
Let's try
I can maybe get another one.
Yeah.
And then I started like thinking, okay, I really want like a sleeve or a half sleeve. But like it's so hard to come up with like a concept. And I remember when I would talk to you, you're like, whatever you want, man, I can draw it, but I didn't know what you want.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. So if you remember, I started like finding imagery, and I'm really good with computers. I do a lot of programming stuff. And I started taking like PDFs. So I took pictures of my arm, took PDFs, and then I would put tattoos in the placement of where I wanted them. But then I said, you could draw whatever you want. This is just kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
You remember that?
I don't remember that. I mean, I know people have done that, so maybe you're ringing a bell, but yeah, that's also not really. Maybe you'll send me a screenshot, like I just want this spot tattooed, but yeah, it's usually, or maybe some ideas, like
But you've always said a lot of my ideas of like, especially my Japanese artwork. A lot of those came from being in Vegas, drinking and looking at the slot machines and being like, I like that tiger.
Yeah, dude.
Tiger.
Yeah.
I like that lotus. Yeah. I like that temple.
Literally. I've gotten texts from you sitting at a slot machine.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Couple old fashions later.
Right,
I'm like,
exactly.
Okay. I'm like, oh, this is my next idea.
Yeah. That's funny because there's a slot machine there that I love playing, and it's got UFOs on it. And I'm like, I've
know that
taken
game.
pictures of, because I'm like, this artwork is so cool.
Yeah, I know that
It's
game.
like, yeah, every time it pops up, I'm like taking pictures of it. But
Mhm.
that's really cool. And that's another thing. Like inspiration is literally everywhere. You're sitting at a slot machine, or you could be sitting at a river or at a stoplight.
Yep.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter if you're looking, then it's there.
Yeah, and I try to always find that inspiration too, just because I'm always intrigued by things. And since I got into tattooing, like on my body, like now, I'm always like, man, all right, well, part of my back's not finished.
Yeah.
And I'll be just like looking around, and I'll be like, oh, I like that.
Mhm.
And lately, I've been really into like geometric, you know, almost like realistic with geometric. So like the bear that you did, 3/4 of the bear is like super photorealistic, but then like the ear is like geometric, or
Very
just like the
cool.
little pieces around it are geometric, and I
part of the
really
name.
like that. So
Yeah, that's cool.
It's probably really hard to guesstimate. How many sessions do you think that you guys have had together? If you had to guess.
oh damn, that is a great question.
I know it's like
or
people-
maybe even hours.
Yeah, I know people are always like, "How many tattoos do you have?" And it's
Yeah,
like,
I was
well, you have
prepared
like
for that
a
one.
whole cohesive.
Oh,
thing.
really?
Oh yeah,
Do you know?
35.
Damn. Okay. So, and not like, even if those took an hour,
Yeah.
which even if you average it out, I know some have taken way less, but some have taken
Oh yeah.
10 times longer.
We've got 8 hours on quite a few of them. Quite a few of them.
35 tattoos.
Yeah.
Dude, that's hundreds of hours
Yeah.
of work.
Oh yeah.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How do your wrists feel?
Yeah.
I'm the reason your eyes are
I've
so
limited
now.
my workload
Yeah.
for sure.
That is crazy. I mean, that's potentially just like weeks straight of
Yeah.
tattooing.
Well, and you want to hear something else that's interesting? So there was a gap that we didn't work, and I would say it was after you finished the half sleeve, which was all in 2012. Because I literally was like, let's get another one. Let's just keep filling this up. Let's get another one. From 2012 to 2020, that was it.
What?
It was just this piece. It was just this piece of this arm. That was it. And it wasn't until COVID that I got my second tattoo, which was this, one has nothing to do with the rest. But I was like, I like playing music. And so I was like, ooh, I want something like this. And you might notice I like symmetrical tattoos. Like everything is symmetrical. And so I wanted to find something that fit this shape. So I was like, ooh, that. So this is 2020. This is like, this was during COVID. Like, it was summer of 2020.
Sure.
And then, what? Maybe these are the Dragon Links inspired tattoos, so those were a little later. But but it was like 2020, and then I just went crazy. I was like,
I didn't
all right.
realize that much time had passed. Dang.
Yeah, because then we started like trading. I would do electrical work, you would tattoo, and I was like, all right, this is like the perfect excuse to keep getting tattoos.
Right.
So I love doing electrical.
Yep.
Like, that's perfect.
Right.
So then we just went gangbusters. Literally.
Yeah.
This whole thing was probably like traded work. The lion was traded work for sure.
Yeah.
This I think was traded work.
Probably, I think so. I love that ship. I don't really see it too often.
No, dude, this is one of my favorites.
That's cool. Yeah, really
So majority of your tattoos then were like the last 5 years.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Yeah, that is. That's a lot of tattoos.
Yeah, it is.
5 years.
It got to the point where, because you would be booked up, 6 months out, and then you'd be like, I got a random Thursday at noon. And I'm like, I got a pretty flexible schedule. Let's do this. That was worth it. So we would just keep doing that. I'd be like, or you would call me up like the day before and be like, I got a cancellation. I'm like, I got ideas.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Plenty. Yeah. So now we're working on a piece. We're on our second session of that one.
Second session right now.
Second of maybe 3 or 4.
Yep.
We'll see. However long. You got plans after that? No? Yet?
I started thinking about it. But I don't have any yet.
Yeah.
It'll probably take
Yeah.
a couple months or so before I'm like back in like the itch of like.
I was gonna say, because we just finished your chest not too long ago, I don't think.
That was like April, like finished in April.
Yeah.
Started in February, I think.
And then I think it was like, I don't have any ideas yet, but I'm taking something on my back.
You helped me with it too, because I was just like, man, I want the back piece to be like substantial, and I want it to like make sense with everything. And I was thinking just do another eagle, because I have the eagle on my leg, but like spread out. Then I was also like, man, a lot of people have eagles. It's kind of dumb. And you're like, what about an owl? And I was like, oh, like a badass realistic owl and I just kept thinking like, well, I kind of want to add some like geometry to it, just to break up just the, the typical realistic owl. So
yeah.
What do you think's been your most painful spot getting tattooed?
Holy shit! You probably remember this.
Well,
I texted you and I was like, bro, I think I got an infection.
Oh, yeah,
right
okay.
after the tattoo. So first time I ever used numbing cream, because I was like, all right, I'll try this out. I mean, getting tattooed is not the most pleasant experience, and especially in areas that I know are going to be quite painful.
Well, and you've already been tattooed so much, you're like,
yeah,
I don't want to feel it anymore.
I know, at least like aspects of it.
Yeah.
And so the most painful was the lion.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much black in this,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like the lion mixed with the knee. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to try this numbing cream. So I'm a researcher, so I'm online. I'm looking up all these different numbing creams, reading everyone's reviews, trying to figure out what makes the most sense. And so I ordered whatever the one I sent you. I can't remember, Bondi Care or something like that.
Bondi Care, yeah.
And so I put it on. I did everything I was supposed to do. We show up. We do the session. We did this pretty much in one session. I think it was just a touch up. So it was like 7 hours. This is when you used to tattoo a long time.
Yep, exactly.
And I think we had you like reapply it halfway through.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't feel it was amazing. I didn't feel anything.
It worked for a
crazy.
really, really long time, if not the whole session.
So there's a trade-off to that. Your body can't connect, like the pain doesn't connect with your head yet. And so when it wears off, it's all at once.
Excruciating.
And so I got home and I always had the same routine. Like I get home because after a tattoo, your body's depleted. Like I have the same routine. I jump in the shower, put this out, and I just try to relax as much as I can. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take a nap. So I had to play volleyball that night. And I jumped into bed. I rewrapped it up, jumped into bed. I was just relaxing. And all of a sudden I just started getting this like throbbing, aching, burning pain that I had never experienced before. I would have if it happened when I was getting tattooed.
Right. And that would have been a slow burn into it too, probably.
And so I pulled everything off and I looked at it and there was just red all around it. And so I think I took a picture and I was like, dude, I've never experienced it before. Like, what is this? Did it get infected somehow? Did I do something?
Yeah.
Whatever. Because it was excruciating. I couldn't even sleep. I was on the verge of tears. It was that bad. And so it was like my mind finally connected with the pain, and holy shit. I was, yeah. And then I think you text me and you're like, maybe it's an effect of the numbing cream. And then I started thinking about it. I'm like, that makes sense.
Right.
I don't feel it when I'm getting tattooed. So I'm not getting that gradual, a little bit of pain, a little bit of pain, a little bit of pain. And then you can kind of sustain that and you can figure out, anticipate the next part of it.
Yeah.
And so that was, that was the most excruciating. And the weirdest thing is I was supposed to play volleyball. So I'm driving to volleyball and I'm like, it's still hurting so bad. It's still hurting so bad. I get the volleyball and I'm like, it just went away.
Really?
It just went away.
Weird.
Just instantly. And like walking too, because it's on the knee.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, how the hell am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? And then all of a sudden it just gone. Never returned again.
Wild.
I wonder what it's like then when people go under anesthesia and get like a full back done. They have to be like on painkillers or something.
You have to be.
Yeah, that much
Crazy.
pain, that much trauma on your body that's just like, and now it's here.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've never thought of that or heard that before.
So now I tell people, because I got friends that get tattooed, I'm like, if you get numbing cream, here's my recommendation. Put it on, get tattooed, put it on again, and then put it on again.
Yeah.
And then it starts to heal itself.
Sure,
and at that point, when it's done, you're good. If you just leave it like raw, after you just got your skin ripped apart, open wound, basically.
At some point, you're going to feel the
You're going to feel it, but it's going to start to be a little more subtle, not so like all at once aggressive. So,
so being that you've been tattooed for many hours at a time, and you just kind of touched on it, like if you don't have numbing cream and you start the tattoo and then it's like 2-3 hours in, what do you typically do as far as like, how do you handle it? What's your mental state?
So that's a great question. So the back one right now,
right
now there's not a lot there. That's probably the most painful I've ever had. And even I tried to use them, it didn't work at all. It didn't work at all. So I don't know why, but I think it's just because I'm not always like putting pressure on my back, so I don't feel it as much. But like It was pretty brutal. What I do is I just try to like, all right, you can do this. You're fine. Like lately, you'll notice I'm not talking as much because it is painful. So I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, holy crap. Okay, so we got a 3-hour session.
Yeah,
it's been 8 minutes.
Start watching the time.
Oh, it's been 8 minutes, and especially now I'm in that chair. I'm just like,
yes,
it's been 9 minutes. This is like what it's like being at work and like hating your job all day. And you're just like, oh God, hours must have went by. It's been 3 minutes since the last time I looked. It's a mental thing. Yeah, I just literally just like try to feel parts and be like, okay, that's probably what he's gonna do on the other side now, and anticipate it and be like, it'll be about the same. So you'll be working on one side, this side hasn't been worked on at all. And I'll be totally used to this side, and you'll jump over to this side, and then it's a whole.
Because with that one, I am like, okay, I've just finished this over here. I need to do that over here, so that at least we end semi-symmetrical, and also so I remember what I did. So that, it's kind of
getting tattooed. I never really thought of it. It's definitely a really good mental exercise. Like you have to, like for me when I get tattooed, it's like instead of looking at the clock, I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna be as present in the moment as I can, and just like. This is what it is, and let's just enjoy it. But it's definitely like the minutes. If you start looking at them, they start crawling by.
I remember that on my neck tattoo.
Off the wall.
I was just gonna say, when I had my neck tattoo, I was just facing a clock.
Oh
like,
no,
dude, he's got to be mostly done. He's like, all right, dude, about halfway done. Dude, no.
We got the outline.
I just wanted to curl up into a ball the whole time of that tattoo. But I think I recall, getting tattooed, it's like, well, this isn't going to last forever. This is going to last, I've been tattooed. My stomach was probably like the one that was like probably the hardest whenever you're like, holy shit, he's really doing a lot of lines, because I was holding my breath, which it's not because it hurt, it's just because I felt like that's what I needed to do.
Yeah, I do that too.
And then I'd run out of breath, and then I'd kind of like have to just gasp it out almost, because he just kept going and going. So
what was that?
Basically, sorry, dude. I'm just trying to do my best.
Yeah, it's no joke. I'm not gonna lie. Like I get excited. I'll text you in the morning. I'm like, tattoo day.
Tattoo day.
Yeah, tattoo day.
Always.
Want me to get you something?
Yep.
You're like, no, I'm good. Like, okay. I show up, I'm just excited. But in my mind, I'm also like, I know what's about to take place.
Getting ready for war.
I'm like, all right. Yep, I'm prepping. I'm like, okay. And then you put the stencil on, I'm like, here we go.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you're like, all right, we're ready to start, I'm just like, okay.
Especially if it's a place where you haven't been tattooed.
Yeah.
Like the back. I remember I was so nervous for my back too. Like, dude, I don't know. I've heard nothing but horror stories about this.
Yeah.
I'm really kind of scared right now. And then I mean, that's probably the biggest part of it. I think the mental game is like, what if I can't make it? What if this is like the worst pain? Which I'm surprised your chest wasn't out of those two spots.
That was an interesting one too. I definitely felt it. I did the numbing cream a little bit for the middle part, and that actually worked. I thought it, but I didn't put anything on the outside. Just thinking, I don't care. I'll just do the middle part.
The middle's the worst, which it is.
And it worked. It worked for about an hour. So the first hour, you're basically just doing line work.
Yeah. Just
the other hour, you're shading. I'm like, oh.
And I didn't necessarily start in the middle either. I think it worked from like one side to the middle, from the other side to the middle. Yeah. So
that one was pretty rough. And then a lot of the times the line work was pretty painful too, because it literally feels like you're just like scouring my skin. You're just like, put a knife in there and you're just pulling down. And I'm like, it's got to be almost done. You're like, all right, well, that was one side. And I'm like, no problem. Okay.
I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it.
It's not a pleasant experience. I will like the tattooing part is not the reason you get tattooed. Like, I don't do it because I'm like, ooh, I love pain.
Yeah.
No, I do it because I like the after effect. I like to look at the tattoo. I like good art. Like, so that's why I like endure the pain.
So you're in a fairly high up career. Have any of your tattoos like messed with any of your opportunities, or?
That's a great question. I was worried about that.
Yeah.
I mean, started in construction, I wasn't too concerned, but when I transitioned into engineering and then management and then higher up, I was like, okay, maybe there's going to be, an issue especially corporate America has a
Right.
problem with, people who have tattoos. Good thing about now is you have this whole shift where it's all about like diversity, inclusion, and acceptance for people for who they are. So like I'll see people with like nose rings and like gauged earrings and like eyebrow rings and tattoos. A lot of people have tattoos. A lot of people they'll have like one or two, here. So I'm like, see them, I'm like, okay, cool. But I do when I go into meetings sometimes, I'm like, just to make sure that there's no issue. But and it's not because I'm like nervous about having tattoos or I'm like embarrassed by them at all. No, it's more of just the older generation mindset is what it is. And like I have them on my fingers too,
Oh, that's right.
These are the first thing that people recognize.
Interesting.
And they'll be like, you got a cat? And they'll tell them a story. I'm like, why I have the cat? I'm like, you have a wave? I'll tell them a story why I have a wave. And they're like, that's pretty badass. I'm like, that's pretty cool.
That's cool.
But like every once in a while, depending on who's in the meeting, like a boardroom meeting or something like that, usually at the very beginning, I'll just be a little more subtle. But then, it'll move down a little bit or something. And people will be like, what do you got? And then I'll be like, then they'll show me theirs. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But I think, like I said, things have shifted now in corporate America where it's not like taboo or like looked down upon to have tattoos. So.
I definitely agree with you. If it's in a professional setting, I always would prefer to meet somebody wearing long sleeves and like pants because I feel like people may perceive you in a way before they give you a chance if they have that sort of mentality. Even my job that I work during the week now, like I fully covered up, and then I told them that I work at a tattoo shop, whatever. But I was like fully covered up, and he's like, I appreciate you doing that. He's like, I probably, would have thought a little different if I, like he said that to me, and I was like, okay, well, I guess I was like, I guess I will continue to do so.
I don't know, for some reason it freaks me out whenever I see somebody that I don't know is either tattooed or heavily tattooed, and then I see that they are. It's like, whoa. It's almost like it's two different people into my brain, at least. Like, wow, I wish I would have known the real you first, because now I gotta like, oh, this is
what else are you hiding?
Right.
So I'm fairly new to the company I work for now. I've only been there a year. And within like 3 months, we did the company picnic day, whatever, and it was at Valley Fair. And it was like 100 degrees outside.
Damn.
And so people only ever see me in like button ups and like long sleeve pants, whatever. And I'm like, or long pants. And I was like, I don't care. I'm just it's hot outside. So I was wearing a tank top and shorts, and I showed up, and like all of the like department managers, whatever, in like one area, and they look at me and they're like, what? Because I mean, tatted pretty much head to toe, and they're like, and then they would do like the quick little like, like,
I kind of want to look at you for a minute.
I don't want But then like later on, I asked them, I was like, yeah, I've got quite a few tattoos. Have you guys ever thought anything different? And I'm like, no, you got badass tattoos. You know? I'm like, all right, cool.
It's kind of cool. Like you can be the gateway to people, like in a way, people are like, oh, I'd never get one, and then see yours and like, oh, I could do something like that.
Well, it also helps so I don't have shitty tattoos, you know.
So let's talk about that. Then how did you determine like when and what a bad, like when did you know like that's a shitty tattoo versus like I don't want one of those, I'm only going to look for top tier work?
I think growing up, my whole family are artists. Or they not necessarily like as a profession, but like they all are artistic. Like everyone, my grandfather, my dad, they would always like doodle on like little napkins. And so I'd always see like the little character style men. And then like growing up, I was always into art. Always into art. I drew, I painted.
Cool.
So my brother, he won awards for painting.
Nice.
Write music as well. So I've always been in the art side. And so like whenever I would see like someone's art, I would instantly be like, okay, that's good or that's bad. Like that looks like someone did it in the back of a van, like you can see the blowouts of their tattoos, and they would always be like, man, look how cool this tattoo is. I got this from this guy. And I'm like, did he just start tattooing? I'm like, do you not see there's no contrast, no saturation? Like I'm like going through all these general terms. in my head they're general, but he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's got black and it's got
It's
thicker
big.
black. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they would always call it black and white tattoos.
Mhm.
Okay, well, it's gray.
Indicator.
There is no white. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you put white in it, it's wrong. But no, so to answer your question, so I've always been around art.
Yeah.
And I've always had a good appreciation for good art.
Sure.
And my parents would always be like, "You're not getting a tattoo. They're gonna look terrible over time. You know, whatever." And they were right about the star. Whatever.
That was the first one. Give me a break.
I went to a shitty tattoo shop where the guy's like on his lunch break. He's like, $40. You know, like there's not a lot of effort there.
Yeah.
So, but they would be like, "I told you so." I'm like, "All right, yeah, you're not wrong."
Yeah.
But then, like, as I started getting more like established as an adult, having, you know, financial abilities, I was like, if I'm gonna get a tattoo, like, I'm gonna seek out the best. And like, and I'm also like a creature of habit too, where I'm like, once I find something I like, which you obviously know, you're the, you know, second or third person to ever tattoo my body. So the shitty Vegas tattoos and you, basically. Which I got a funny story for that too.
Oh, cool.
But anyway, I was like, I want good art.
Yeah.
I want good art. And I'm not necessarily going to be the judge of the good art. I'll let the artist that I trust like decide what that is. That's why I'll message you to be like, this is kind of what I'm thinking, but I would love to get your spin on it.
Okay.
And like, I want you to have that, you know, creative liberty too.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't look super feminine.
Yeah, it doesn't look girly.
Like the koi fish.
Yeah.
Which does not.
Yeah. But no, yeah. So that's pretty much it.
What's the funny Vegas story?
Yeah. So when I first started getting tattooed by you, I was like, all right, these are my good tattoos, right? I'm okay with having a couple just random shitty little Vegas tattoos.
Sure.
And I would always threaten my wife because I would want to go out to the bars and I would want to hang out with people and I would want to do these things like, you know, midday, and she'd want to go take a nap. And I'd be like, one time I was just joking. I'm like, all right, you take a nap. I'm going to get a tattoo. And she's like, I'm going to take a nap, so do whatever you need to do. And I was like, all right, sounds good. So I went and I got a tattoo. And that tattoo was these birds.
Oh, okay. And that was in the hotel you were staying in, right?
Yeah, it was at the Link. Yep. Ended up being an awesome shop.
Yeah.
Doing great work. And so I was telling them like, I got, you know, my shitty Vegas tattoos. And I'm like, but they weren't shitty. They were actually pretty solid. So then fast forward the next time we go to Vegas, I'm like, well, you take a nap. I'm going to get a tattoo. And she's like, don't go get a tattoo. I'm like, look, this is
the deal.
This is what it is. It's not a threat. It's a promise. You take a nap. I'm going to get a tattoo. And so she took a nap, and I went and got a tattoo. And that was the skyline that you end up covering up because she hated it.
Okay.
Although I got a lot of people being like, hey, that's a really cool tattoo.
Wow.
Story behind that, though, and why she hated it is because the next trip that we went on, she took a nap and went and got a shitty tattoo. And that was an airplane. Yep. And it was at the bottom. It's still there. It was at the bottom here at my ankle.
Telling me this now. Oh,
and then the top of that is the New York skyline. And so she's like, that looks like you are, you know, paying homage to the terrorist attack. And I'm like, what? That's not at all what my intention was. I just wanted some cool, like, random tattoos. It was supposed to be my traveling leg. So it's going to be like the plane was the, you know, the traveling
skyline, dude.
well, the skyline was after the attack. So it's actually, you know, Freedom Tower. And so I was like, I was like, or One World Center. I'm like, that's not at all what I was planning. But I had a bunch of military guys come up to me and they would be like, I like your tattoo. Did you serve in the military? And I was like, no. Because they were looking at like it was a tribute to the soldiers and stuff. And I was like,
so no matter what, it kept kind of coming back.
It's just coming back to that. And then that's why I had you cover it up. I still have the plane. But that was it. She's like, I just don't like it because it makes me uncomfortable. And I was like, well, okay, I didn't think that way at all.
Yeah, right.
But that's how it works. So you can't control how other people are gonna, you know, perceive something.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, well, if it bothers you that much, I actually really liked it. it was just a, you know, chicken scratch style.
Yeah,
it wasn't like super detailed. Yeah, it was just line work and squiggly on purpose. And so I was like, all right, fine. I'll have CM covered up.
Yeah.
So then we covered it up.
That's right. That is so funny.
Yeah.
And I've gotten a couple after that. I got the palm tree here, which was just a random shitty Vegas tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got this was actually for my sister-in-law's cat that passed away. She really wanted to get a cat tribute tattoo, and as soon as she said tattoo, I was like, yeah, man, I don't care.
Oh, cool.
So she got this tiny ass little one about this big.
Yeah.
And she's a server. So she'd wash her hands all the time, whatever.
Oh,
that tattoo was gone in like a month. Mine's still here, and it's all the same.
Wow.
I chose the right size.
Do you typically go to the same shop when you're out
Yeah.
there? So
I go
always the one in the
Mhm.
link?
Mhm.
What's like, what do they charge? What's like, how much have you paid for this?
So they do it based off of like, they give you like a little box, and that box size has a cost. So I would say like 6 by 3 is $200.
Okay.
And then it gets
anything. Okay.
Yeah, anything bigger than that. And the crazy thing is the artist can choose what price they want to do it at. That's kind of like their baseline, but the artist could be like $400,
Mm-hmm.
$500.
Yeah.
They look at you and you have no tattoos, they're probably like $1,000.
Yeah. Right.
So, but I think
where do
their
you want it?
minimum is $100.
Okay.
For anything that's like small.
Mm.
So like this was $100.
Okay.
And I was like, all right, that's fine.
Pretty universal, I feel like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
for minimum.
there's still those shops. Like the lady I tattooed yesterday, she had 3 tattoos that she had gotten done in Vegas. 2 of them were at the $10 tattoo shops.
Oh yeah, I've seen those.
Super solid.
Really?
And then she had another one on her arm that she had done at another place, small palm tree. $200 was just looked like hell.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, so it's interesting because price doesn't always mean, you know, like,
quality. No.
I mean, we saw one of my clients came in, he had this tattoo. It was like a sandwich. It was like a hoagie sandwich. He's a foodie. And I'm like, oh, and we were talking about who did it. I'm like, I know that guy. How much did you pay for it? He's $1,200.
Holy shit.
He's like, when I went up to pay for that, I laughed.
Yeah.
He's like, but then he was serious. Like, dude, you paid $1,200 for that? That's like a $400 tattoo. Easy.
Yeah.
And it was fine, but it wasn't, it wasn't $1,200
No.
worth.
No. $1,200. That's a lot.
If you were to guess, how much money have you spent on?
Oh my God. I have no guess.
Yeah.
I have no guess. I don't know. I'd have to go through and
How many-
tabulate it all up.
How many cars do you think you could have bought? Brand new cars.
Probably one.
Yeah. Well, if you've got 35 tattoos.
Yeah.
And, again, if those only took an hour, at $100 an hour, that's $3,500,
Yeah.
right?
No. Yeah. Yeah. It's
But-
way more than that.
That's
Way
You know,
more than
I
that.
always like tell people when I look at it, it's like, okay, you spend $1,200 on a tattoo. It's like, or you spend $1,200 at the bar or something.
Yeah.
It's like, and you have the tattoo forever.
Sometimes you do
I think,
both.
Or do
In
both.
Vegas.
Yeah, that's how I rationalize it. I'm like,
Yeah, right.
Sometimes you do both
Yeah.
in Vegas.
Yeah, right.
Going to get a shit tattoo, that's only $200. Going to the bar, $1,200.
Yeah,
like,
right.
didn't quite figure
Didn't
itself
math.
out yet. The math didn't want math, but I had a great time.
But
in
sitting
both
here at the bar
areas.
took way longer than that
Oh,
tattoo,
yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
more justified.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Do you have any advice for people who haven't been tattooed, or maybe who only have small, shitty Vegas tattoos that maybe want to start getting a larger body of work?
Yeah, I would say really pay attention to what you want. Like
Mhm.
it's difficult because, like I said, when I first started getting tattooed, or first started, especially working with you, I was like, oh, he's gonna figure out what I'm gonna do. Like I'm gonna walk in, just give him, it's like you walk into a bar and you're like, I like lemon, honey, and they make you a drink. I'm like, I like realism, I like geometric, I like bears, I like whatever. You're like, but what do you want with that? I can
Yeah.
literally draw anything you want.
Yeah.
So I would say the biggest thing is figure out ahead of time what you're gonna want, and then work with the artist to kind of fine tune that to get you exactly what it will be. So,
And how much artistic freedom should a person give versus, nope, this is absolutely what I have to have. I have to have it drawn like this.
that's tough because that's individual.
Mhm.
Me personally, I'm a concept person, but you can do whatever you want with that concept because I want you to have the artistic freedom to express what you need to express because it's your work.
Yeah.
Like, so I think that depends. Yeah. If there is a person that they're so stuck on what it is that they want exactly the way that they want, then a custom tattoo is probably not for them.
That's a good point. A custom artist probably isn't necessarily. That's a good
Go
point.
to a sticker shop, have them literally take that image, make a stencil out of that image, and then tattoo that exactly the way that it is.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
Yeah. So more of a street shop versus a custom shop.
The lady that I tattooed yesterday told me she had only had one other tattoo and she got it like 20 years ago or something. And she was like, yeah, I didn't know like that custom tattoos were a thing. I thought she just had some flash like butterfly or something. So like it's super cool that we could like make something custom. And I was like, I never understood that people maybe didn't know that was even an
20 years ago, that was probably like custom work was just, there's probably like 3 custom shops in the whole, state maybe versus, it was like, just all flash. So now it's just totally flip-flop basically. But
I learned the most from a custom standpoint from Ink Master because they would literally be like, I want a turtle coming out of a dragon. And you're like, who the hell thinks of this?
Yeah.
And so that really opened my mind to like what is possible with tattooing. And a lot of them, they're like, yeah, I totally know what that means. And I'm like, how the hell do you know what that means? Oh, I want that new school too. So you're like, all right, it could be anything. Like,
right.
A turtle coming out of a dragon on a spaceship in November.
Like, in the dark.
Yeah. You're like, what the fuck?
Right.
Yeah.
Where are we at on
47? Would you recommend one thing that I did when I was younger? I was telling CM, I was like, fuck, I really want to get a tattoo, but I have $100, so I'll just go get a $100 tattoo. Looking back, I should have just saved my money and gotten like a tattoo I wanted. What do you think for people, young people getting in the game?
I always, CM will tell me this too. He's like, yeah, I'm working with this guy. He's got $400 today, like whatever. I'm just thinking, I'm like, why? Like, I mean, unless you're building towards something, it's like, all right, this session, whatever. I get that, but no, I would say, one, figure out what you want, work with the artist to design it how you want it, figure out the cost that's or the number of sessions and whatever it's going to take for cost, and then save up to get that tattoo that you actually want. Otherwise, you're going to run in the same situation that 99% of people do. Is they're like, I just put $100 on the table and said, draw. My cousin actually used to do that. He was the most tattooed person that I knew for a long time, and his tattoos, in my opinion, were garbage. They would be like his first one. He went into the shop and he got like the cross, right? The cross with Jesus, and it says Jesus on the bottom. And you see it in every tattoo shop. And that one was okay because it was basically like a sticker. There's nothing custom to it. But then he started being friends with like the tattoo shop people, and then they would be like, oh yeah, I got this, apprentice coming in. He's starting to draw a little bit. He'll do your shit for free.
Yeah.
And it looked like, no offense to apprenticeship, no offense, but like, it looked like that dude, no idea what he was doing.
Sure.
I'm like, he should have done the process that you do, where you have people draw on something ahead of time, and then go on fake skin, figure out how that's gonna react. Get your line work down, get your shading down.
The fundamentals.
Because he had all of these just horrendous tattoos, and he looks like someone who didn't care. It's like, I just wanted a tattoo. Which is cool for him. He likes that, but he will nowadays be like, one of these.
So I wonder too, I mean, I heard this a long time ago, but I think it kind of, I don't know, not to sound too judgmental, but if you do see, so kind of going back to your professional story, you being a professional, your coworkers seeing you for the first time, like, holy shit, you're kind of covered. I wonder what that reaction would have been had you been covered in total shit work.
Oh yeah.
Because I do wonder if that kind of,
it does,
like
100%.
What's the word I'm looking for? Portrays like, I don't really give a shit. Versus like, no, I put in the time and the money and the effort, and I sit through the pain, and I did my research. I think, again, I'm kind of surprised whenever I see good tattoos out in the wild anymore. I mean, you see it in Vegas all the time. Like, look at that horse shit thing. What is that?
My wife will do that too. She'd look at a tattoo and be like, it's like a blob. And it's like in the back of someone's neck. So it's, and it's like offset. And I'm like thinking that it's supposed to be like a rose. So it's just a blown out outline of a rose, and then it has writing the inside of it, and it looks like someone, like back in the day, what would you, like the ink gun basically that you would use, and it would like leave like ink droppings behind, and then it would like go into the skin. It looks like a blob of writing, and I'm like, I think that says Barbara.
Yeah.
Bob. I don't know.
Right.
It's just horrendous work.
Yeah.
I'm like, God. So to answer your question, I try to make a point to people now. Like if they ask me, they're like, "Oh, cool." I'm like, "Yeah, no, I care about artwork. You know, it's not just tattoos to get tattoos."
Yeah.
And there is one of my coworkers who has a pretty mediocre tattoo, and he will look at mine and be like, "Man, that is really good. Like I've been trying to get like this sleeve done. I just don't know where to go and like what to do." And I'm like, "I got you."
Yeah,
I got you.
I
Follow
mean,
me.
that's probably these days too, being that there's so many tattooers. It's like, who do you even go to? So yeah, if you find somebody who actually has some pretty decent work, probably go to that person's person, or at least to the shop that person's person works at, and hopefully they'll get taken care of.
Yeah, I don't know if it was you or somebody else or whatnot, but I heard somebody once say, like, if you're looking for a tattooer, look at their tattoos. Because if they have a bunch of shitty tattoos, they probably do not great work. That's their...
Yeah, that was the flip side of the thing that I was just talking about too. It's like, well, what kind of tattoos does your tattooer have? Yeah, are they just trash and they're just kind of getting whatever? I mean, that was me in the early days, but I was also doing shit work in the early days.
Well, you have other stuff now.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But, you know.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like a personal trainer. You see a personal trainer who's fat, and
yeah,
you're like,
there you go.
Point.
This is what I'm inspiring to be. Like you're basically teaching me something that you're not following, right?
That's true.
It's like, well, that's not going to work.
Right.
You could be the smartest guy in the world, but if you don't, or smartest guy in the world in that field, and know what you're talking about, and can totally get people to where they want to get to, but if you're not living that, you're like your own marketing, you know. So it's like
there was an analogy of like, who would you rather trust if you were to climb Mount Everest? The guy who's only read textbooks, he knows everything, the geography, the temperature, and everything. He's never been there, or do you want to trust the Sherpa guide who lives at the base of the freaking thing, and he's been up and down Everest a dozen times?
Yeah.
It's like, there's something to say about experience, and there's something to say about just, well, I've been around it a lot. I've even met people who are just shop owners, and they shouldn't be. Well, I've been around tattooing a lot. That doesn't mean shit. You don't even have one. And you're an owner of a shop? Like, that seems so wrong to me.
I know.
It's like kind of sickening.
It's like someone who works in like the medical field. Like, I could be a doctor. You're like, you totally could be.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
You're
you
the
want to go to school?
receptionist,
You want to go back to school, get all your hours in, prove yourself as a doctor, get licensed. You could be a doctor. Like, but I could do it.
I've been around it a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had lots of surgeries.
There's a lot of things I could do.
I'm sure. Will I
doesn't
do it
make
well?
me a licensed professional.
Do I know how to transplant your heart? Well, no, but I could probably figure out how to get
Would
in
you
there.
like to try me? I probably could.
Yeah, exactly.
You have any final words or?
Well, I mean, hey, thanks for having me. We were talking about it for a while because we do these long sessions and we talk and talk and talk.
Yeah.
And so it was like, it'd be really cool to be a part of the process. I follow your guys' podcasts.
Thank you.
They're pretty entertaining. So I learned a lot from them too.
Appreciate you coming in and doing it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Dude.
Yeah, definitely, dude.
Good time. Cool.
There we go.
Wrap.
Cool.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, man. That was fun.